Getting to the bottom of that just got a whole lot weirder.
I looked at you and said, repeat that. You said, I've got to get to the bottom of that. We have liftoff.
Check out what's coming up on today's episode.
Unless you're dumb.
Theory time.
Here we go. I mean, we are a conspiracy theory podcast. I think this is what happened. The reason why the Dead Sea Scrolls were never found and they were hidden in the cave for so long with anyone touching them is because they were protected
Yeah.
by giants in the caves.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You believe this?
Yes.
Okay.
Giants in the cave.
And you think the
why not?
shepherd killed one with a rock?
Scared it away. He goes, ooh.
Maybe that was. Yeah, maybe that's the story.
It
This is
ties
gonna
back-
be is gonna be Byron's soundbite for the
Yeah, for the promo.
for the
This
promo.
is the promo right here.
I knew it.
This is it.
When he turned on the music, I knew this is gonna be.
That's my new theory music.
Oh, that's
When there's
good.
a theory
Yeah,
coming
why,
on.
Why not? Why couldn't there be giants protecting it? The Nephilim.
Well, I don't
And,
know.
and the little shepherd,
Yeah,
Mohammed,
the cave of
was
Nandahar.
actually shooting at him instead of a stray animal, which was told.
He got a rock. He slung
Yeah,
it
he was
in
like,
there.
hey, David did it. I'm going to do it.
Dude, that makes sense. What if he saw one, slung it, killed a giant, he fell over, smashed all the pots. Then the Smithsonian comes in, cleans the scene, gets the giant out of there,
Yes.
removes everything, scrubs everything. They're like, you need to basically give these away. So he sells it for $250.
Yeah, and make this story up that there was a stray animal. There's no giant here.
Yeah,
And he was like, okay.
He's like, that's fine, whatever.
And the guy's like, "What kind of stray animal should I say? I don't know, a sheep, a mallard."
Mallard, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
cat.
Doesn't matter. A platypus.
Yeah, say
He's
something.
like, what's that? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You
See,
know?
look, I think you're onto something. Gang, right there.
Yes, sir. OG.
There you go.
Hey guys, real quick before we start the show, wanted to let you know kind of how we do things around here, how we do the podcast. If you've ever wanted to make a podcast, we use Spotify. Spotify's got a platform that lets you make a podcast really, really easy. And then they let you distribute it everywhere and even earn some money if you want a little change, ching in your pocket. And they do it all in one place. And it's for free. That's the exciting part. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. Here's how it works. They let you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or your computer, and then they'll let you distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. And if you want to take your conversations to the next level, they have really cool features like Q&A and polls, and those are the things that really get people and your fans talking about things. So with Spotify for Podcasters, you can also earn money, including ads and podcast subscriptions, and the best of all, like I said, it's totally free with no catch. Ever since I've discovered it, I feel like the options of the Q&A and the video options and the polls has really let me take the creativity of my podcasting to another level. I highly recommend you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. Dice Man Enterprises exclusively presents a talk show that will get to the bottom of things once and for all. And now here's your host for Let's Get to the Bottom of That. Three weirdos on a mic.
Welcome into another edition of Let's Get to the Bottom of That. I'm your host, Byron Dice.
Yeah.
Welcome. Welcome into the studio once again. The other half of, I guess it's the other third,
Yeah.
not half.
Yep.
Well, whatever. The other two weirdos, Jason and Joey. Well, it's been quite a week. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I think the news cycle seems to have quietened down.
Has
It's
it?
not as much blown up. You know how there was a while there where we were talking about Israel. Things were just blowing up.
Yeah.
I really haven't. Maybe I haven't just paid attention to the news.
Was that a
but
pun? Blowing up?
yeah.
Nice.
If it was unintentional.
Okay.
But that's where my brain's at. But Today we're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls.
They're really killing it
episode
over there.
60. Oh Lord, here he goes.
Sorry.
He was waiting for that one.
Oh man.
Today we're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls episode 65. Want to shout out to our first two callers. We had our last episode.
That was so
Yeah.
cool.
We did a live stream, our first live. Well, it was actually our second live stream. Or was it? Was that our first?
No,
No,
it
that
was
was,
a second.
that was the second.
Second
Yeah.
live stream, but it was pretty successful. We're not live streaming today because it's
Gotta work out
early
some kinks.
and working out some kinks, trying to get some different camera angles or whatever.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm kind of groggy today.
I can't tell.
Oh, really?
I'm just kidding.
Well, it's early. It's usually late. Jason's actually awake today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a plus.
This is my active hours, dude. From 7 to 10,
You're on.
I'm on.
Yeah.
After 10, I'm ready for bed.
You said that. That's
It's true.
this
You're
is your
right.
prime peak hours.
This is as good
7
as
to
I
10,
get.
and
dude.
then it's just end of the day.
So everybody, y'all are getting different versions of the weirdos today.
Yeah, when you guys normally hear me, I'm about maybe a quarter.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm already sleeping.
You're like,
I'm already mentally. I'm sleeping.
listen, I don't know if the plane disappeared, but I know there was Sasquatch. He was on it.
I've seen him.
But today, Dead Sea Scrolls, I'm all over the place.
I'm hyped up.
I'm
baby.
excited. But yeah,
hyped
our
up.
callers, man. Who it was?
It was a little guapo.
Little guapo.
Oh, by the way, here's a few comments. Should I read Mr. Flinchenstein
Why not?
comment? Well,
I mean, it's long.
I don't know how I missed this, but it was on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It was 3 weeks ago, and he was commenting on the Club of Rome.
I mean, you can sum it up, but I mean, I
It
think-
basically was. We were talking about how the Club of Rome is
Right.
kind of globally taking over the world and the control, and they're behind all the
Yeah.
climate model and all that stuff. But he was
Yeah.
kind of he was saying climate change is a real issue, and you can't discount everything the Club of Rome does because they're rich and powerful. Basically, that sums that up. And he said, I mean, y'all should go stand in the middle of a landfill and see for yourself what society does to a planet.
Yeah. Which I've
I've been to a landfill
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
because I've thrown trash and mattresses in it.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, how does this place function? They cover it up, they build a little mountain, and then they'll go over to another spot and dig another hole.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm
Just
like, wow,
burying-
this is just
burying
ingenuity
trash.
at its best.
Yeah, you're paying to just throw something outside and they put dirt over it.
I know.
You know what we
Heck
can't
of a
do?
business plan.
What
We can we can
can't?
bury it on the earth, but we can't throw it out in space. That's an international law. We can't have space.
Well,
junk.
who's
Well, how
going to
about
throw?
that?
I would
I
throw it
can't-
out in space.
How are you throwing it out in space?
Dude, I would just gotta put it all in a rocket and shoot it out to the sun.
You don't have a rocket.
Yeah, just incinerate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, where's your rocket at, dude?
Put it on the moon, man.
How? in
Why can't we
fact,
put it on the moon?
Why is that a law? Nobody
Space
can
junk.
throw stuff in space. What
Countries
are you
can't
talking
put
about.
like
Are
their
you talking about, like,
satellites,
their-
yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, the satellites are up in the stratosphere spinning around. We
Yeah.
dumped all our trash out there. It'd be like a
It'd be like just the circle.
We'd
We'd have
have-
the rings of Saturn,
we'd
but
have a
with
film.
somebody's toaster
Space
and a
junk.
microwave.
I love it.
Yeah, bread bag.
we just need to build
float-
a big slingshot
Yeah, straight
That
to,
would,
the,
yeah.
to the moon, baby.
out to the moon, dude. Let's just dump
What
it on
movie?
some
Did
Martians.
I see that on a movie where they had a garbage chute and they were dumping stuff on the moon?
Yeah, Wally.
What was that?
no,
No.
I don't
Oh,
know.
that was pretty rough.
I know we
Wally-
should dump it on the moon. Dump it. I don't know. I think we should dump it in space. It's space. It's huge. It's not gonna. Whatever.
Yeah, there's light years before it's going to reach a solar system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when there's no life out there.
Why don't we just build one of those big like vacuum chutes when you go to the bank? Where you
Yeah,
just
like
push
the
it.
tube.
Yeah, but build a bigger
pneumatic
one for garbage.
tube.
Spaceballs.
They-
The vacuum.
Was that part of a movie?
Yes.
Yes, the vacuum. It is
Matter of fact, that's what the Marvels, they're making fun of the Marvels because actually she was doing that. She was sucking all the air and natural resources from a planet. And everybody's like, Spaceballs, they already did this. What are y'all doing? Yeah, that was one of the big, the bad guys. They had a vacuum.
You saw it.
Yes.
On Eternals?
No, I'm talking about Spaceballs.
No, Spaceballs. Oh, no, I'm
bad-
talking about Marvels. Did you watch Marvels?
No, and I never will.
Don't. ever.
Wait, what's Marvels?
Don't. It's
It's probably marbles.
it's garbage.
It's garbage. It's
Okay.
it's what Disney
Yeah.
Marvel is today.
Sums it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, going back to the comment.
Anyway, yeah. So appreciate that, Mr. Flankenstein.
I like
Flinkenstein?
I like
Flichtenstein?
I like constructive criticism.
I do
Yeah.
too, man. Honestly, I agree with him on some things. That's what I said in the comments.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Mike Jones, our
Oh,
previous
went ham.
co-host here, he was like, I disagree with this guy, and he's like, wrote me a book.
he
Yeah.
did. He clapped back. I
And
think
he
it's
was
'cause
like, look here, boys, these globalists are here to kill us. I was like, oh, yeah, Mike, you're right.
I mean,
I'm not
there's
gonna
no
disagree
there's
with
no
you.
disagreeing
passionate.
with that either. But I definitely want a cleaner planet, though.
Oh well, sure.
You know what I mean?
Man, I put my oil down the drain.
You do. You just
You
dump it in
put
the
what?
storm.
My oil down the drain.
Oh, with hot water, of course, right?
No.
He's talking
Come,
about.
dude, that's gonna.
You're talking about vegetable oil. You're
I'm
talking about.
all-
Dude,
my
you're
oil.
Luke. You're talking
Car
to
oil?
somebody that.
Yeah, bro.
Car oil.
What? Shut up.
I throw it not down. Well, the sewers outside in the street.
Oh, the storm sewers.
Yeah,
that go
storm
to
drains.
rivers.
Yeah.
Nice, bro. So we're
yeah. What
drinking
about
that?
antifreeze?
Yeah, dude. that too. I usually
You're
just
the
put it in
reason
plants.
our planet's dying.
It's gonna die anyway, man.
You son of a
That's
gun,
true.
dude.
I'm trying to bring back the kingdom quicker.
Amen, brother. Let's just kill it.
I'm expediting, man.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna blow up one day anyway.
Hey, every little bit helps, dude. You
Yeah.
know, just dump it right
One,
on
one quart at a time.
That is crazy.
I'm
You know what
kidding.
I do with
I
mine?
don't do that.
Oh, see, here he's kidding. Gotcha.
PETA.
You know, I take mine. I take it to the local Express Lube,
Yeah, and they
and
dump
they
it in the
dispose
river.
of it, and they dump it in the sewer.
Yeah. Well, my dad used to know this guy back in the day. It was a big deal, dude. Like they used to work. He used to mow the greens at this really fancy golf course where we're at, and one of the guys he was working with dumped all the chemicals for like the fertilizer and stuff. You know,
No.
you know the phosphate fertilizers.
Yes.
He dumped it into the storm sewers.
Oh man.
And then there was like this huge EPA problem where there's like the rivers were lined with dead fish for miles, dude.
nice.
Murdered.
Well, I mean,
Dead deer.
We
It's
just
terrible.
we'll just clear out the
Dude.
water system with
Wow.
fluoride. It's
Yeah.
fine.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's fine, dude. Ain't no
Well,
big deal.
Lil Guapo, which called in, he also left a message. He was listening to the Epstein episode. He said, I picked the worst and most uncomfortable episode to call in.
Yeah. I was kind of confused when he called and he was like, "What's up, dudes?"
What's up, dudes?
We're like-
Y'all talking about pedophiles? Let's go. He said, good job exposing the truth on such a touchy subject. I love your show. Can't wait for it to blow up. Glad I'm an OG fan. And for all the kids out there, that means original.
Original gangster.
Yes.
Yeah,
not,
original.
not OG.
We're not promoting violence.
No. Jay Yeeky, 79, also on Epstein, said, you dudes are the cat's meow.
Thanks, man.
I live in Winston County, Alabama. Let me talk Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
And I was wondering, what part of the state do y'all live in? I'm not a crazy person, just a bored working guy eating my crunchy Cheetos.
Let's get him on.
We're in an undisclosed
Yeah, we're in an
location
undisclosed look.
in the U.S.
You probably have picked, some people have picked up on where we are because I probably mentioned it before.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something, Winston County. I know about Winston County in Alabama.
Do you?
So,
Good or
yeah,
bad?
some deer hunting right there, boys.
Really?
Yeah.
That's straight up Yeehaw Town.
Yes, sir. So I appreciate you listening. I am from Birmingham, Alabama, originally. So Jay Yeeky, appreciate that. Roll Tide. And
Roll Tide.
yeah, we'll get in for that. You guys got anything else?
That's
To
all
go
I
over?
got. No, it was fun hearing our callers call in.
Yeah, Lil Guapo, Don Malik.
Yeah, we were
dude.
making fun of you. And when were we doing that?
after
on the show.
Was it on the show?
It was on the show. I was
'Cause
like,
I was
wow,
so
look
high.
at him perked up.
Dude.
He's like,
Oh, yeah.
these are my
No,
bros.
it's cool. Yeah, no, it's cool. I
did.
really enjoyed having the interaction with them.
You did.
Also, I enjoyed knowing the fact that they're not bots. Like
Yeah,
we all
yeah,
once.
Jason was
thought.
like, yes, these people are real. They called
Yeah.
me on the phone,
Yeah,
and they really like me.
they like what we put out.
It is true. It's kind of like
Encouraging.
Yeah, it is encouraging, but it's when we're doing this, it's obviously just us in a room talking, and then it's just
Basement.
getting sent out. And
Yeah.
There.
So here's what you got to remember, and this is podcasting 101. Even though we are three weirdos on a mic in a room, you always have to be thinking of the listener.
Yeah,
Amen.
You have to be talking to them.
and
Yeah.
we're
Even
talking.
Is that what they taught you in
Yes,
podcast school?
yeah, and broadcasting. You always
Really?
have to. You're talking. You're not just talking to you. I'm talking to little Guapo right now.
Yeah.
Listen, dude. Turn to Matthew. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude.
We talked
But yeah,
about-
it was cool, man. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it, and I can't wait for us to have more people chime in and see
Yeah.
what's up.
Oh, by the way, yeah, we're on. If you don't know, the camera is recording. So YouTube, what's up, bros? Rumble, what's up? BitChute, hello.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we're on camera right now. So
yeah,
this
we're live.
We're not live, but when this is going to be uploaded, we're on camera right now. So
I
say
thought you weren't recording.
That's what I thought too. But
no.
then
I
he
said I'm
we're
not going
recording anyway.
live, but I'm going to
You
record
tricked
this.
us. He tricked us.
He
Joey.
did.
I told no. You said, "Are you going to record?" And I said, "Yes, I'm going to record and
Well,
upload it for YouTube."
Yeah,
video.
but you're real sly about it though.
I didn't say any slyness.
I
You were-
said you were sly about it.
You're like,
man.
I mean, we're gonna record, but anyway, let's get started.
Well, let's go.
Hey, bro, he didn't let us finish. He just hit the record button. He got into it real quick.
Dead Sea Scrolls. Here's 3 points
Now they
right
see
here.
my. Can you
He's
block
doing-
out my face?
Look,
He's
okay.
doing it
Now that
again.
I've said that, look, we won't put this on
All right.
if you don't want.
Well, 'cause
to.
I get my
So
new
now people are
mask.
hearing this, going,
No.
"You guys are a bunch of idiots."
Now we have to put it on.
yeah, we have to, just like free
Sorry,
merch,
bro.
You're gonna have to like.
Just like free merch.
Let's do a voice changer on Jason.
The one thing I want to talk about with the Dead Sea Scrolls is I was digging in a cave and I ran across this pottery and this guy came up behind me with a silencer.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And suddenly I was
Yeah,
dead.
and suddenly I was in a portal and I was on Jupiter and this dude with a blue arm was talking to me.
You're like, I've been to Qumran. It sucks.
yeah. Okay, we're completely off the rails. Let's go with 3 points here, right here. Here's what the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls
Yep.
proves evidence for. This is the evidence that it does. It confirms the Hebrew text. It supports for the Masoretic text. I probably botched that word up.
Yep.
And it supports for the Septuagint, which
Oh,
the
yeah.
Septuagint is the Greek translation from the Hebrew. That's what the Septuagint was. Septuagint
Yeah,
means
baby.
actually 70. There were 70 scholars that sat down and translated from Hebrew to Greek. And that's probably what Jesus
And
was.
that's-
And the Septuagint was probably what Jesus had
Yeah, and that
and
right
the
there
disciples.
was the Septuagint. We should do a show on. There's some cool history.
Oh, really?
to
Okay.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of it involves Alexander the Great when he was like conquering the land. I'm gonna butcher it because I don't have it written.
All that
down.
land.
Yeah, but essentially, like when he was conquering, he would take over. Disperse,
Oh, yeah, yes,
take
absolutely,
over,
yeah.
disperse until he got to like the Jewish land right there, and because they had supposedly had like a dream the night before. Gosh, what was that? I'm gonna butcher that, dude. But it's cool.
Yeah, but what was the blue arm guy?
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool how that came about. It was definitely like God oriented. So I will.
We'll
We
get
should
into
do one.
Yeah,
We should
that's a
do
good
one,
one.
for real.
Septuagint.
Space junk.
What are space balls? What are the Dead Sea Scrolls? If anybody's out there wondering,
Yeah, because I
did you?
I know, but I don't know
I've heard.
Good.
I know Sasquatch, but I'm not sure.
exactly.
I've seen.
Here's what they are, Jason. The Dead Sea Scrolls are fragments of 1,000 ancient manuscripts written mostly in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek.
Yeah, but they do have whole scrolls too.
Yes.
They do. They have like the whole entire book of Isaiah.
Holy scrolly.
Holy
scroll.
scrolly.
Yeah, some of them ranging like 25 feet long.
Now,
Huge.
I'm going to tell you this. When we're getting into this, the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's a lot of controversy as well. Some people say that we found it. It kind of wrecked their theology. It wrecked their belief that there's this addition here. What they didn't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Because we already had this canon thing, the Bible. So they were discovered in 1946, Jason. 46 and 47. They were in caves in the Judean desert near the Dead Sea. Hence the word Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah.
I like how they named this. They're like, hey, there's a Dead Sea. Why don't we name it Dead Sea Scrolls?
And what's more interesting is when was Israel founded?
Oh, let me get 1946, 47?
49.
Oh,
This is-
49. I was way off. And we just did 3 parts of
Wait,
Israel.
was it 49? Hang on, let me
No,
double
it's-
check.
I thought it was 46.
46.
Hang on. I gotta
Back me
read
up,
that.
Jason. Don't let me down.
Yeah, no, it's 46.
Shh.
Did you take me on
48. 48.
1948?
Okay.
We were all
Hey.
wrong.
Hey,
Oh, you said 49, 47, 46, 47.
It was in
thank
between.
you.
40.
Thank you.
Thank God I had the notes.
You know what? We
handy.
just went through a 3-part Israel. We're such a bunch of idiots.
Hey, we're just
What's
reading.
going
We're just reading up here, dude.
Okay, that is interesting.
Yeah. So
if,
this is
if you want to bring that into the conversation,
Well, I just
we
did.
found, yeah, but I don't know if we want to keep going.
okay. I'll add some more later on.
So that is interesting. 46, we found these fragments that were written on parchment, and parchment is animal skins prepared for writing. Can you imagine writing on an animal skin?
No.
Do you have how it was found?
Yeah,
You do. Okay.
yeah. There was or papyrus. That's interesting. They
Papaya,
found
the
they-
fruit?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, okay.
Really?
I got you there, didn't
Yeah,
I?
you did. Pomegranate. No, I'm still reeling on. I didn't realize that this was so close that this happened, and then all of a sudden, boom,
Yeah. A year later.
Israel. I'm like, hey, look at these scrolls. Okay, so what is left of them had to be painstakingly pieced back together. So they found the scripts, and they had to put them back together by scholars. Of course, these are smart people.
Yeah.
Based on the material and the handwriting, of course, the text. About 25% of these scrolls were copies of texts that would eventually be included in the canon of the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament.
Yeah.
The rest of the manuscripts contained mainly other Jewish literature from the period, letters and contracts and stuff like that.
All right. I'm going to add something to that.
Go ahead, Mr. Joey.
So, 1949, Israel became a country, right? So when this was discovered, there was fragments. There was a bunch of fragments. I think it was like 25,000 fragments found. But there was full scrolls that they found, like an entire
Yeah, they're
scroll
rolled up. Yep.
of Isaiah. I mean, they found a bunch of Psalms, like all kinds of stuff, right? When this was discovered, which you're going to get into that, right?
Yeah. My next paragraph is
Okay.
is how they were discovered
So I
by
will.
the Bedouin herdsmen.
There was like
What a name.
6 or 7 full scrolls, and the way that it was kind of put out into the ether, like some of them were sold. But long story short, long story short, Israel ended up with all the full ones.
Yes.
You have that too.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then just keep reading.
No.
Just keep reading.
No,
But
we can talk. We can talk amongst ourselves.
I'll talk
if
about
if you've
the,
got talking points. Go for it, dude.
I'll talk about the fragments because this is kind of interesting. The fragments were so the seven pieces. All of the fragments were taken by the Jordanians to the West Bank.
Right.
Okay, and they put together this team of scholars, but it was at that time they're like, we don't like Jews. We're not getting any Jewish scholars,
Right.
even though it was written in Hebrew, right?
Yeah. How do you get
So-
around that?
They got like obviously like what was the name?
I can't stand Hebrew.
Yeah, they had a lot of people that specified in. Gosh darn it! I wish I wrote
Jewish
that down.
text,
No. Muslim text, I think, something like that.
circumcision.
Yes, let's do that. Foreskin. They scholared in foreskin removal, and anyway, but they weren't going to use Jews to kind of decipher, because what they're having to do is they take these fragments and they have to put it together like a puzzle piece. And long story short, they're like, we're not using the Jews, and you're screwed. And it was like these things were getting put together so terribly slow because they don't really know the Old Testament scriptures like a lot of the Jewish scholars would.
Right.
In the West Bank, at this point, this ties into Israel. That didn't belong to them until the 7-Day War.
Right. Which we
So-
talked. Yeah.
Yeah. So then the 7-Day War, they took the West Bank, and then they took all the fragments, and then that's when
They were like, "Hey, this belongs to us."
yeah. So
War.
Israel has all the, well, I mean, there's still stuff floating around, but most of the fragments, all the scrolls, are all pretty much in Israel's
Possession.
possession.
The
at this point in time.
the 7th-day war.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they
Gotcha.
Or 6-Day
Seventh
War.
day.
I think it's
Six.
6.
Is it 6?
it was
The
6 days.
6-day war. What is it good for?
What is it good for? Anyway, that's all I got. That's all my notes.
Well,
Take it away, Brian.
Jason's all over it today. See what I'm saying? It's a different guy.
He is, dude.
I know.
Me too.
I'm awake.
Okay.
Prime
How
time,
were
baby.
they discovered? You ask.
Yeah.
Well, the 7 most famous and well-preserved Dead Sea Scrolls were found in the winter of 1946 to 47 by a Bedouin herdsman named Mohammed Dib. And literally that name means the wolf.
Yeah.
Who purportedly threw a rock into a cave. Think about this.
Yeah.
He threw a rock. How? It's just kind of amazing. It's got to be ordained.
Yes, it has to.
I
be,
mean,
dude.
I threw a rock into a cave after a stray animal. So he's basically, there was a stray animal. He's throwing a rock at it.
He sees a cat or a
Yeah.
or
Well,
like a
Yeah,
duck.
some guy.
It was his. He was a shepherd,
Yes.
and it was his lost sheep. He was looking for a lost sheep. You have that, right?
Well, it just said,
No.
my research said a stray animal.
Yeah. So it was a lost
And he heard
sheep.
a loud crash when he
That's,
threw
I mean,
it.
obviously, this is it's a story of.
If a story of a story, somebody, yeah, you're
but
right.
I heard in my research it was a lost sheep. He
See, that
was
sounds like
looking for,
Jesus.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You telling me it's not ordained?
Dude.
It was a lost
What
sheep.
if somebody-
He went looking for it? All there's like by the Dead Sea, there's all these like pits in the rocks. He throws it and heard clay crash.
Yeah, you heard something crash. Like, what is that?
In my research,
What do you have,
it
Jason?
says that it was a mallard. He had a rock.
A
and
mallard?
He threw it mallard and threw it at
A
the,
duck?
Yeah.
Are you joking right? I don't know how to take
I'm joking.
But he's looking at his phone like he's reading it from a site.
He's got his little notes out.
Oh my
What a
god!
goober, dude.
I was just thinking, wait, there's mallards in
Why not?
by the Dead Sea?
yeah, I think
absolutely.
I think it was a T-Rex, honestly. Wait, they're not real. Dang it.
They aren't.
So he heard a loud crash. So of course he's like, "What is that?" Upon further investigation, he found several scrolls inside some clay jars, which he sold. I'm gonna get some money for these jars.
Heck yeah.
Well, his name's Muhammad, so he's the wolf. When the scrolls came to the attention of scholars, they were quickly recognized as being among the most important archaeological discoveries of the 20th century.
Yeah, he sold those for $35. Too, by the way, did you have that?
Yes. The cave, well, it's going to get interesting because they kind of like didn't know where they were for a minute. So the cave the scrolls were actually in eventually came to be called Qumran Cave 1, named after the nearby ruins of Qumran. Okay, I don't know what Qumran, I don't know where that's at. You got any notes on Qumran?
Let's see.
It says nearby ruins, but look, Qumran. After this, illegal Bedouin excavations and professional archaeologists raced to find new scrolls in nearby caves. So the Bedouin, Muhammad, first found the largest group of fragments, in which would number Cave 4, right next to the site of Qumran. They sold fragments to archaeologists who caught wind of the discovery, and they started excavating the cave officially. In all, Cave 4 yielded thousands of fragments that were pieced back together by scholars into over 500 different manuscripts. The Bedouin who found the initial scrolls sold them to a Syrian Orthodox priest in Jerusalem. Now, you had a different number. I got $250 to
$250?
that Orthodox priest.
Jeez, dude. I check my sources, bro.
Yeah, well, fact check.
Let's
Jason's our
check.
fact checker.
Fact check it, dude. What did he sell it for?
After the new nation of Israel was formed, the whereabouts of the scrolls remained hidden. But in 1954, an anonymous ad was placed in the Wall Street Journal that they had resurfaced and were smuggled into America and put up for sale. This time, they were bought by a traveling Israeli archaeologist on behalf of his country, Israel, for $250,000. His name was Yigal Yadin.
The Yadins. I know about that.
So I wonder if Muhammad, the Bedouin herdsman, was thinking about that $250 after this guy bought it from New York City for $250,000. I think my research staff is researching some stuff over the next
Yeah, we're
decade or
looking it up.
so. Bedouins and scholars discovered and excavated a total of 11 caves with scrolls around the site of Qumran, as well as additional caves at other sites in the Judean desert, like the fortress Masada, Widi, Murabatak, and Nahal Havir.
Ooh, that
I
was pretty
probably
good.
just botched that up. I just
No, it
kind of made
sounds
an accent
just-
with it, and it made it sound right.
Sounds good to me.
So just recently in 2019 and 2020, the Israeli Antiquities Authority discovered additional Dead Sea Scroll fragments of a Greek copy of the Minor Prophets in a cave in Nahal Haver called the Cave of Horror. I wonder why they called it that. Oh, here's why. Because of 40 skeletons found there
Ooh.
who died fleeing the Romans.
Uh-oh.
So the Cave of Horror. So most of the Dead Sea Scrolls, like you mentioned, Joey, are now kept by the Israeli Antiquities Authority in Jerusalem, but a few manuscripts are in other locations, like Jordan, Paris, and Rome. Since 2000, a number of fragments claimed to be authentic Dead Sea Scrolls have been sold to private dealers, but most or all of these are now generally believed to be modern fakes.
Ooh.
Joey, what are you pulling? Yes, Joey's in
I'm
deep.
trying to
read.
find it. Dude.
Jamie, get us. You trying to find that money?
Yeah, buddy.
200. What do you got?
Mine keeps on showing 250.
Okay. You're
Okay.
right. There you go.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's
Well, it's just you just found another source.
There you go, man.
So
It was sold
So
for a
Mo-
low amount of money.
yeah,
That's
so
the
Muhammad sold it for 250, and then the Israeli priest bought it for 250,000, which was Yigal Yadin.
Yeah, that's quite a return, dude.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I would like to know, and I can't find any resources on it. Who smuggled it into America?
Ooh, I don't
That's
know.
interesting, right?
Soros.
How? Who, yeah, he was on the uprise, right? Back in '46.
Yes.
That's interesting. So that's interesting that somebody put an ad in the Wall Street Journal. And then
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah, and it said
interesting.
miscellaneous.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even understand what the ad would say, but it said that they had resurfaced and they were put up for sale. I guess the ad was, "Hey, I'm selling this." And then Yagil Yadin said, "Hey, I'll give you 250 for it. 250,000."
Buy it
Yeah.
up, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, it's antiquity, so of course that's a smart thing to do. Put it in the Wall Street Journal where
Yeah.
wealthy people are going to be.
So that's what that dude was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm going to America. I'm going to put this up here and see who bites.
So
Yeah.
who does it? Miscellaneous ad.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
Well, how old are the Dead Sea Scrolls? That's the next question. They were found in the Qumran caves, and they were written about. Now I don't know how they figure this stuff out, but between 300 BC and AD 68, the date when the site of Qumran was destroyed by the Roman army. So this is historical. That is an historical event that this site was destroyed by a Roman army. So they could like date these texts. It seems to me that somebody, when the Roman Empire was just crushing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they were like, you know what? We got to do something with these scrolls. Let's put them in a jar and put them in these caves here.
Yeah. I heard, so when that was happening, that's exactly, they wanted to preserve their culture and their, what am I trying to say?
Their ancient texts.
Yes, because,
Well, a lot of it wasn't canon. It was just historical documents that people, wrote about their culture.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
There was not just biblical stuff. There was
Yep.
other stuff, literature.
yes.
People just
Yeah.
writing stuff.
There was a lot of biblical stuff, though.
Oh yeah, there was
Yeah.
tons of it. But I was just saying, not only the canon, there was other stuff that
Well,
was
that-
historical literature and stuff.
It's typical for another country that's invading another country to destroy the country
Yeah,
and its culture, to destroy all their art.
look at Troy, burned it,
Yes.
Yeah. Burned it down.
Nazis.
but don't
Germany.
even care. Burn it.
The Nazis in
Poland.
Was it Poland?
Warsaw.
Yeah. What was it? What was that movie called? Monument Men. The Monument Men. I don't know, but it was
You
about
talking about the Schindler's
Oh
List?
yeah, with
John Goodman.
John Goodman.
Yeah, so
and,
they went in there.
George Clooney.
Yeah, they went to go find the art
yeah,
that the Nazis were stealing from other countries
yeah.
to preserve it, because it's.
Oh, he didn't destroy it. He stole it and brought it back to Germany.
He's
Put it in those bunkers.
yeah.
That was weird. I wonder why they were doing.
Wonder
that,
why he
dude.
did that.
It's so
It's so
strange.
weird.
So strange, dude.
Hitler, dude.
Well, supposedly, I was listening to this guy's podcast about this, and he's an old Jewish scholar. He's a
Oh,
into
good.
history. And
See, that's who we need on the show.
supposedly, this was a different sect of Judaism back in the day, and I don't have this written down, but essentially during the time,
Oh, that hid these.
yes,
Okay.
they were a more like, I don't know, like religiously strict congregation. And at that point in time, was it the Sadducees during the Roman Empire?
They were sad, you see.
They were wanting to kind of intermingle the Jewish with the Roman, you know, just like, hey, let's live in peace, kind of like that other rabbi that you had at that he's like, we're fine, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And this sect was like, nuh-uh, we're going to the caves. So they put all their stuff in their caves. So this was like all their documents. That's what he was saying.
Was he saying they were hiding here, or were
No,
this is where we're going to bed down?
That's where they bed down.
Okay, this is where
basically.
we're having church.
Yeah, essentially. So that they weren't
Cave church. I'm down with it.
They weren't intermingling with the Roman Empire. They were trying to stay true to their Jewish origin.
Maybe the 70 skeletons they found in the Cave of Horror was part of that group that hid them. Hid them.
Probably.
Because they were on the run from the Romans.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's interesting that it stayed lost all this time,
I have a theory.
and the Romans didn't find it.
Yeah,
That's
I
dead.
mean, it's ordained. bro.
Theory time.
Here we go. I mean, we are a conspiracy theory podcast. I think this is what happened. The reason why the Dead Sea Scrolls were never found and they were hidden in the cave for so long with not anyone touching them is because they were protected
Yeah.
by giants in the caves.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You believe this?
Yes.
Okay.
Giants in the cave.
And you
Wh-
think the
why not?
shepherd killed one with a rock?
Scared it away. He goes, "Ooh,
Maybe that was. Yeah, maybe that's the story.
It
this is
ties
gonna
back
be
to-
this is gonna be Byron's soundbite for the
Yeah, for the promo.
for the
This
promo.
is the promo right here.
I knew it.
This is it.
When he turned on the music, I knew this is gonna be.
That's my new theory music.
Oh, that's
When there's
good.
a theory
Yeah,
coming
why,
on.
Why not? Why couldn't there be giants protecting it? The Nephilim.
Well, I don't
And,
know.
and the little shepherd,
Yeah,
Mohammed,
the cave of
was
Nandahar.
actually shooting at him instead of a stray animal, which was told.
he got a rock. He slung
Yeah,
it
he was
in
like,
there.
hey, David did it. I'm going to do it.
Dude, that makes sense. What if he saw one, slung it, killed a giant, he fell over, smashed all the pots, then the Smithsonian comes in, cleans the scene, gets the giant out of there,
Yes.
removes everything, scrubs everything. They're like, you need to basically give these away. So he sells it for $250.
Yeah, and make this story up that there was a stray animal. There's no giant here. And
Yeah,
he was like,
he's-
okay.
He's like, that's fine, whatever.
And the guy's like, "What kind of stray animal should I say? I don't know, a sheep, a mallard,
Mallard, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It
cat.
doesn't matter. A platypus.
Yeah, say
He's
something.
like, what's that? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You
See,
know?
look, I think you're onto something. Gang, gang, right there.
Yes, sir. OG.
There you go.
And
OG
okay, so
Diddly D.
so he sold them to who did he? That's the other thing. Who did he sell it to?
It was
The
a Christian.
$250.
That was Orthodox, wasn't it? The Christian. You wrote it down.
Priest,
I
right?
didn't. No, I didn't. It didn't show where.
So there's a
who he
priest,
sold
there's a
it
Jew,
to.
and there's a Christian. All at a bar.
All in a bar. And they all want the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Dude, that we should write a joke. So it doesn't say who he sold. Oh yeah, Syrian Orthodox priest.
Yeah, dude. You wrote it down.
Okay, yeah. So it didn't mention his name, but he was in Jerusalem. Here, so this is getting wild now
Yeah.
because another Israeli archaeologist had to go and buy it back from America. Why did this Syrian Orthodox priest? Maybe he smuggled to America, and then got $250,000.
I think he was just selling it
What
to
if
whoever.
he's the same guy that bought it for $250, smuggled it to America, and then got $250,000?
He played the system. I love it. I believe it. $250,000 back. What? 19?
It's
When
like
was this?
it was like 2 million.
47.
Yeah, dude.
It was a lot of money back.
That dude
in the
was a
day,
billionaire
Wow.
for
He
sure.
was fat stacks.
I like that theory. Okay.
Well, yeah. There's other conspiracies surrounding it. And
Oh, you
they're-
got some? Okay.
Well, I don't know if you have it, but like
Well-
whenever the fragments were given to the West Bank, remember
Yeah.
how they wouldn't allow any Jewish scholars in there? Like I said, they were actually given to the Rockefeller Museum over in the
Shut up.
in the West.
Shut
Bank.
up.
That's who had the fragments.
Rockefeller
Rockefeller Museum.
Feller is in Israel?
There,
in,
where
in the West Bank.
The West Bank.
Yeah,
Rockefeller's everywhere.
everywhere, bro.
I didn't know he had his hands in this.
Well, I don't know. It's just his museum, but you can. Hey, come on.
Just,
Wow.
just his name on the front.
Are you kidding?
But anyway,
me?
it's what was interesting is they wouldn't have any Jewish scholars. So this guy came out with this big conspiracy back in the day. I can't remember what his name is. I wish I would have wrote it down. Anyway, he came out with this big conspiracy back in the day that like the Christians, because they had some Christian scholars working on it too, that they
Oh.
found some damning evidence in there against our Messiah. And
Oh,
then-
really?
Yep. And then whenever Israel took the West Bank, they got Jewish scholars on there, and they've been deciphering it ever since. And what do you know? There wasn't any damning evidence. It just
Oh, okay.
solidified that. But at
it
the
was
time,
the opposite.
at the time, that was part of the reason that because everything was going really slow, they were deciphering it really slow, and they're like, because we don't have any Jewish Hebrew speaking people who know the Torah, and yeah, it's kind of interesting stuff.
If only we had people that knew Hebrew.
That is interesting.
I think the Jewish people do.
we
Yeah.
kicked him out.
Yeah, they didn't want them there, but when it all kind of came together, all it did was just solidify our Bible and solidify theirs.
Mhm.
That it was accurate, which is crazy too, because everyone likes to say that, which I think we've got this on the list at some point, that our Bible, you know, they like to argue the accuracy,
Authenticity, yeah.
authenticity of
Mhm.
our Bible, and that's the significance of the Dead Sea. Is this proves
Yeah.
that even before the Catholic Church had their hand in it, that it's the same.
Right. Before.
Right. The texts were authentic. Yeah.
yeah, because they always say, well, they're so old and they've been translated so many
Rewritten,
times.
and men are just screw ups.
Yeah. Yeah. And, aw,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that argument.
Well, this disproves it.
And people don't understand the precision that the Hebrews had when writing down stories or events in their culture.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was to the letter. That's why when Jesus
Had
says
to be.
not even one iota
Yeah.
of this, what he's referring to is that I know that it's so precise that not even one iota of this text will go.
Yeah.
You know, because they were so precise with it. The scribes would write and then
Oh, they would train their whole lives
Yes.
for it, dude. Whole lives.
It was his job.
Yeah. It was you.
and if you
from
made one
birth.
mark, one mistake, you missed a mark one time, done.
You're done. You're going
Yeah.
back to the field.
No,
You're
it
going
was,
to that cave.
it was a
Yeah.
big. It was a big freaking deal, dude. And that's why we can stand behind the authenticity of our Bible. Archaeologically, it's been proven. Anyway.
I've heard this argument recently. And I had to come to grips with this conclusion because it's easy to and I'm getting off subject matter of
That's
this.
what we do.
We're talking about Bible right now. Because somebody says it's been translated and men wrote it and it's flawed and
Yeah.
who decided what text went in and what stayed out because
Yeah.
there's all there's all these other books that Peter did and
The canonization.
the book of
the Bible.
Enoch and all this. And I had to come to grips with, that may be true. Men had their hand in it and
Yeah.
they're deciding of what, but I'm like, do you think at any moment, the creator, I'm the created, I can't question or even fathom
Yeah.
the creator.
Yeah.
I'm the created thing. I don't question the creator, right? What vessel can go, hey, why are you making me like that? What are you doing? You can't do it. So I have to think in my mind, the creator of the universe put his thoughts and the way he wanted things to. I just can't think that that would get messed up.
Well,
Even though there's men involved, I'm like, do you think the creator can't? Is it just out of his hands? Men are that messed up that the creator can't go, hey, here's my writing and here's what I want you to live your life by.
Well, that just goes to
You know
show,
what I'm saying?
It goes to show how powerful he is, because the Bible is written by man. It's divinely inspired.
Right.
We wrote every single word in that thing. And through his Holy Spirit and through his power, everything coincides. Everything ties together.
Yeah,
from
people
the
are
first
like,
book
men are flawed, though,
last book.
man. Well, they got it wrong.
that you can have such perfection in a book written by man is proof there is a God. That's why I said the Quran is divinely inspired by a demon,
By Satan.
by the devil. But you can see the acts of God in religious texts like that, because men can't do that, especially the Bible, where it's written by so many different people, and it all ties in and all builds on itself.
Yeah, how can you? Yeah,
Dude, that's
so
why
that's
you-
when I got. That's when I have to just let go and go. I can't even think about the flaws of man. I got to think about the creator and how he can divinely make this book matter.
Well, I think you
Right?
should think about the flaws of man and how he perfects our flaws.
Well, you
in
know what I'm
this book.
saying.
Yes, but
I can't go. Well, I got to throw that out because of the flaws of man. I don't believe that crap.
Right.
But
I
the
can't go-
Giants, though.
That's true. Hey, Gen 6, baby.
Brought
What
it
did-
back.
But the Giants,
Well,
though.
matter of fact, I was thinking about this. We do need a round 2 of Nephilim. We should get
Double up.
Jacob back on the show
Let's get him on, dude.
and talk about that. But anyway,
Let's get a giant on the show.
yeah. You think he'll fit in the studio?
I don't think so.
Oh, let's
We can
see.
just
Where
have him
was
stand
I?
by the window.
How old were the Dead Sea? Yeah, he could stand by the window and fart. I almost hit it, but I saved
Don't
it.
think.
I saved it.
Hold it for later.
No.
Okay, the let's see, 300 to AD 66. Let's see, some caves from other sites yielded few earlier contracts from 350 to 300 BC, and a list of names on the papyrus. I'm saying that wrong, right? Is it papyrus? Papyrus.
I think you're saying
I
it
need
wrong.
where's
Where is
our
she?
where's
is she?
Rachel?
Where's Rachel?
Rachel, help me.
Rachel.
Okay, so
I
this
wonder
was-
if she still listens.
she does. She just left a comment.
Yeah,
that
she
she was
commented the other day.
Rachel, please help us.
Rachel
Call in
Perry. Rachel
next time.
Perry. Yeah, she was proud that I said presupposition.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
We could have her just in on a call.
we
the
could
whole
just have
time.
her here,
Yeah.
and then when I run into a word like papyrus, I go, Rachel, what do you think?
She goes, actually, it's
Actually, it's this.
and
then,
it's the origin is of Latin.
It's Latin origin. And you're an idiot. You're like, I knew that.
keep going. Let's see. Most of the manuscripts from other sites other than Qumran are from the 1st and 2nd centuries AD. Up until the time of the Second Jewish Revolt that was put down by the Romans by AD 135. And these are a mixture of literatures, including copies of the Hebrew scriptures and Greek translations, contracts, and letters. Okay, so the things are old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Old stuff.
So the other question is, how can they tell how old they are? So the scholars get in there like, how old is this stuff, and how do they figure that out? Sometimes writers of ancient letters and contracts wrote dates
Josephus.
explicitly on their manuscripts, but Hebrew scribes copying literature did not include dates. Sometimes the contents of the text or archaeological. Okay, thank you.
Lo-
Thanks, Rachel. They were in the context in which they were discovered, also give important information for dating manuscripts. And in recent decades, around 60 Dead Sea Scrolls have been radiocarbon dated to give a range of possible dates.
Oh, radio, dude? For real?
In most cases, specialists in ancient Hebrew handwriting called paleographers have assigned approximate dates to the manuscripts based on where the script fits in the history of the development of Hebrew handwriting. So probably they match it up with things that are actually happening, that somebody did write a date and they were like, they mentioned that happened, and they could cross-reference those. So that's how they tell how old it is.
Yeah.
So you're probably thinking, who wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls? Well, they were written by, like you mentioned, many different people in many different places in the Judean desert. And the largest, most famous collection of the scrolls came from Qumran, a simple site that was inhabited the first centuries BC and AD by ascetic religious group focused on a ritual purity and centered around the study of scriptures and other large texts. I think that's what you were talking about, that group that were right there about. I don't know what I'm saying.
Me neither.
Yeah. There's evidence that some of the Qumran scrolls were likely produced on site, since the archaeological excavations at Qumran discovered an unusually large amount of writing and bookmaking materials, such as inkwells and straps for tying scrolls. Scholars have also noted that a few scribes copied multiple manuscripts that were discovered in the Qumran caves, which could suggest that they were working at Qumran. And many of the manuscripts appeared to be informal scraps that would have been likely to be imported to the site and thus were likely written at Qumran. So they say they actually wrote and copied text and then put them in the where they were found. Okay. What do the Dead Sea Scrolls tell us about the history of the Bible? That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
Do they contradict or prove the Bible? This is a fundamental question.
Is that rhetorical, or
Well,
are
I
you
mean,
asking us?
yeah, it's just the question. It's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, do you want to answer?
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead.
answer. Do you want to answer, Joey?
What? I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Jason.
Do they contradict or prove the Bible?
I don't think it contradicts. I think it affirms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
biblical
that's
text.
a word for 2023, affirm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's affirming.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a fundamental question for Jewish and Christian believers who accept the Bible as sacred text
Mm-hmm.
and sacred scripture. But it is also a difficult question to answer in a straightforward way. Since the Dead Sea Scrolls reveal a very long and complex history of the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
First, it's important to discuss which books of the Bible were included. Let's talk about that. Almost all of the books of the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, were discovered. So basically, you had like this library of
Oh,
a
no
copy.
kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
do you
the
have which one
whole
they don't? Do you have the one they didn't find yet?
I don't know.
So the whole Torah was.
It says they were discovered with the largest number of copies or excerpts coming from the Pentateuch,
Yep.
aka the Torah,
Yeah.
or 5 books of Moses. That's what that's called, the Torah. Isaiah and Psalms. You mentioned that earlier.
Yep.
That's what they found.
Yeah. The only one they haven't found yet is the Book of Esher.
Yeah, only 3 books. Only 3 books are not attested in fragments from the Qumran. First Chronicles, Nehemiah, and Esther.
Oh, Esther. Esher.
Did you say Esher?
Yeah, I
I
think he was
did.
trying to say.
I was like, Ezra.
Ezra, Esther.
Esther. Esther.
Which, by the way, that's off topic. Esther. I don't know. Do you know where we get the word Easter from?
Esther.
No.
Oh.
Where do we get it from?
I don't know.
Actually, it is.
Is it?
Estar. It's for the goddess of fertility.
Oh, really?
Eshtar.
Then why do we call it Easters?
That's
an
that's
S.
another show.
Because of pagans.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's why the whole rabbit thing, the egg.
Oh.
It's because it came from the queen of fertility,
So should we stop
the
calling
goddess of Estar,
Oh.
and that's where
Estar.
Estar, and that's where they get Easter. Of course, they try to incorporate it and make it, hey, here's
So
a
that-
chocolate bunny.
That goddess, Estar,
Mm-hmm.
that was it the Church of Corinth?
I
Wasn't that the
think
same
it was
one?
Greek. Yeah,
It's Church of Corinth, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Don't quote me. Fact check me.
Hey, we'll look it up. Yeah, let's do an episode on that.
Yeah, that's
dude.
okay. Yeah.
'Cause you remember
we should
that-
do a whole show on pagan holidays,
And
I want to say that's it because remember
and
the
we're going
church,
to ruin everybody's
the
Christmas.
Church of Corinth that's when Paul's been like, hey, women should
Hazelay, listen.
women should
Actually,
not speak out.
Christmas is not a pagan holiday. If you go back to its roots. Anyway.
Oh, see, this is another show.
But,
Stop talking right now.
But
Okay,
anyway,
that would be a
okay.
good one for real. That's a
Okay,
good
so
idea.
first.
wait. Let me just
Okay, okay.
let me just inject this.
Okay.
So the Christmas tree, I just found out about this. The Christmas tree, when it was introduced, because there was a Christian missionary went to go evangelize. No, this is legitimate, serious.
Yeah.
Went to go evangelize. Do you know the story?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Go
Okay.
There's tons of stories.
No. Yes, there's tons of stories, but
Yeah.
this is I wouldn't say factual, but this is you can rely on this information because it came from a non-Christian
Okay.
source.
Okay.
Cool.
It was on NPR, so
Gotta be
that's how
true.
you know. So
Our tax
basically,
dollars at work.
that basically a Christian missionary was trying to evangelize and get the gospel out to some pagans, but these pagans were worshiping trees,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
instead he said, you don't need to do this, here's Christianity, blah blah blah. But what he did, he cut down all the trees, so that these are pagan idols. You don't
Don't worship
Don't-
it.
don't
Yeah.
Just
worth it.
level the forest.
you level the forest.
Yeah, baby.
No, it was like a sacred tree. And then he's like, this new tree is Christ, and it represents
This
something
new
new.
life.
Yes,
Okay.
a new life. And so that's how the Christmas tree started. Putting ornaments started by Martin Luther.
Martin Luther King?
No, Martin Luther, the
Yeah,
Protestant.
the Protestant. He protested.
Mhm.
Oh, Christmas tree, Christmas
Side
tree.
note, let's
Oh.
get back to these.
Yeah, that's probably
cool.
another show that we can get into
Yeah, that's
deeply.
that would be a fun one. For
So
sure.
only the first 3 books non-attested. First Chronicles, Nehemiah, Esther.
Yep.
First Chronicles goes together with Second Chronicles, which one of the fragments had survived. So you had Second Chronicles. Nehemiah, in some traditions, is connected with Ezra, of which fragments have been preserved, but no copies of Esther were found at Qumran. Though some scholars have argued that there are references to the story in other literature of the Qumran caves. Of the books of the Apocrypha, only Tobit, Ecclesiastes,
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes. My favorite book. I love it.
Ben,
God, Rachel,
Sirach,
come here.
Sirach, and the Epistle of Jeremy were
Sriracha.
found among the Dead Sea Scrolls. In
Jeremy-
other words, most, if not all, of the books of the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, were kept there.
Yeah.
So it's important to remember, however, there were no complete Bibles in the time of the Dead Sea Scrolls. So at the
Yeah.
time of them writing these scrolls and making copies of text, the Bible wasn't there. Everybody was reading
So
from
they
scrolls.
had it all right there though.
Yeah.
dude. That's cool.
Instead, individual books and collections were written on separate scrolls. Neither do we have any list of which the books at the Qumran community considered sacred scripture or canonical. Scholars try to determine this by considering the number of copies of each book, as well as how often they were cited and in which ways. Based on these criteria, some books outside the Bible, like 1 Enoch and Jubilees, seem to have been highly esteemed. Some have argued that they were received as scripture in the same way as the traditional biblical books, but there is as yet no consensus on which book the community accepted or whether or not they distinguished the books in this way. They actually found the Book of Enoch in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So here's what's interesting about that is a lot of people say the Book of Enoch is not canon. That's why it's not in Scripture.
Mm-hmm.
But you have people that have been canonized quoting from the Book of Enoch.
Yeah.
So you have to go, these dudes read the Book of Enoch was written and they read it because they're quoting it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jude. He's quoting the Book of Enoch in Jude.
Yeah.
There's other examples like I think in James mentions the two people that okay, you know when Moses threw his staff down in the Old Testament in front of Pharaoh and the
into a little
snakes,
slippery snake.
and they had the magicians. Well, in the book of Moses, it never mentions their names.
the
but
magicians.
in Enoch, it does mention their names.
Gotcha.
That is quoted in James. He mentions their names.
Huh.
I'm like, well, how did he get those names? You didn't get it in You didn't get it from Genesis.
Mm-mm.
Where'd you get it? You got it from the book. So it's a controversy of people going, we found this book. Why can't it be in the Bible as
Right.
Holy Scripture?
Yeah.
Because I've read quite a few. I've read a lot of the Book of Enoch, and there's a lot of stuff in there that's not in the Bible, like the names of angels and their duties and their titles,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty wild.
Like, give me an example. Give me the most wild one that you can think of off the cuff.
Well,
This-
I'll just tell you here.
Okay.
So the main reason, or I would just tell you this. So like, here's some of the favorite stories from this book. The fall of the angels talks about it explicitly.
Mm-hmm.
The fall of the angels. The names and functions of 7 archangels.
Okay.
It doesn't talk about that in the Bible. In the book of Enoch, it does. And it also talks about the final place of punishment for the fallen angels. It doesn't go into great detail in the Bible,
Right.
but in the book of Enoch, it does. Enoch foretells to Noah the deluge and his own preservation. It doesn't go over in that. So the name Enoch was a real person. He was Noah's grandfather. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Hold on, I'll give you a little history lesson here.
Noah's grandfather.
Right. He was okay, here it is. Enoch was the great grandson of Adam. Enoch's father was Jared.
Mm.
And this is in Genesis 5, it says, after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked faithfully with God for 300 years, and he had other sons and daughters. So altogether, Enoch lived a total of 365 years, and he walked faithfully with God, and then God took him. So he was the grandson.
Gotcha.
So Enoch, here it is in Jude, Enoch, who lived in the 7th generation after Adam, prophesied about these people. And he said, listen, the Lord is coming with countless thousands of his holy ones to execute judgment on the people of the world. He will convict every person of the ungodly things that they have done and for all the insults that ungodly sinners have spoken against him. That's in Jude. But
Yeah.
that's a
Quote
quote
from
That's
Enoch.
an actual quote from one Enoch.
Yeah.
1:9.
You're right. There are a few more examples that have not canonized. In 2 Samuel, David composed a funeral song for Saul and Jonathan. He commanded that it be taught to the people of Judah. This song, it is known as the Song of the Bow, and it's recorded in the book of Jasher. So that's another book that was found in the Dead Sea, the book of Jasher. 2 Timothy, here's what I was talking about right here. I'm sorry, I got the scriptures messed up. 2 Timothy 3:8-9, it says, these teachers oppose the truth, just as Jannes and Jambres opposed Moses.
Those are the witchers.
Those are the
magicians.
people that were the magicians that Moses threw his staff down. 2 Timothy obviously read the book of Enoch, because how would he know their names? It doesn't mention it in our canonized text.
Tim. Oh, Tim.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Timmy.
Jannes and Jambres. And then it says, but
Jannes?
they won't get away. They won't get away for this long. Someday everyone will recognize what fools they are, just as with Jannes and Jambres. And I just wrote in my notes, who the heck is Jannes and Jambres? And why are they not mentioned in the Torah? Obviously, Paul, I'm sorry, 2 Timothy, Paul was writing to Timothy. So obviously, Paul had read the book of Jasher where these two magicians are named
Yeah.
in Pharaoh's court. Because if you go to the book of Jasher 79:27, it says, and when they had gone, Pharaoh sent for Balaam, the magician, and to Jannes and Jambres, his sons. So it mentions his dad and his 2 sons, and to all the magicians and conjurers and the counselors which belonged to the king.
Yeah.
And they came and sat before the king. Anyway, that's why I just want to mention that. So it also mentioned, one of my other favorite stories is the names and the functions of the fallen angels and Satan's secret oath. It gets wild in the book of Enoch.
I got to read it.
You haven't read it yet, dude?
No, I don't
listen-
read anything that's not in the Bible.
Listen to it. Listen to the audiobook.
Heresy.
Yeah, it is really hard to get through.
It's hard to get through, dude, but there is so much biblical imagery in it.
Yeah.
Like, it talks a lot about the Son of Man. Like, it's crazy to me that,
The book of the Watchers.
yeah, I mean, it's just, This is crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to like inject witchcraft into
Wow.
my theology.
Into
Wow.
scripture.
Wow.
Pagan ideology.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't keep a tree in my house.
I like to think of my Jesus as a baby.
No one's
Yeah.
scared of no baby.
Yeah, that was just he was comforted by the lamb
Comforted by the Lamb.
and the cows moo.
His little balled up fist.
Yeah,
That's such a good movie. People don't know what we're referencing. It's a good movie.
yeah.
Talladega Nights.
That's a good movie.
All right. So
Well, how can you read the Dead Sea Scrolls? You're wondering. How can you read this?
Online.
online.
There's a high resolution photographs of the most of the Dead Sea Scrolls available online at Israel's Antiquities. Nailed it.
Dude, you're having a tough time today with the.
Antiquities Authority's Leon Levy. And you can go to the Dead Sea, just Google it. Dead Sea Scrolls Digital Library. You can find it. There's an English translation of the biblical Dead Sea Scrolls also available in the Dead Sea Scrolls Bible. Somebody put it in a Bible
Boom.
called the Dead Sea Scrolls Bible.
Yep.
There's also several English translations of the non-biblical scrolls called the Dead Sea Scrolls in English by Geza Vermes.
Yeah, and that's in Pig Latin.
Yeah, probably, if you still speak that. But anyway, that's all I got, dude, on the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Question: did you guys know that the Dead Sea Scrolls they were at a museum here in town 10 something years ago?
Are you talking about when
Oh,
they
you
were on
talk- yeah.
tour
Yeah.
and bringing them around to different
Yeah.
museums? I didn't know that, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, when they went to
Did you see him?
what's the name of that place?
Don't give it up.
Are you
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about
But- Downtown.
Yes.
Grand Central?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where the train
Station?
goes. Yeah, where the train. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, we're not from New York.
Yeah.
Grand Central Station.
We're in San Francisco. This is
Yeah, right by the President Hotel.
But yeah, did you go see it?
I did not. I wish
You
I
said
did.
10
don't-
years ago?
Something around there.
I was,
Um,
I wasn't,
yeah,
I
you
wasn't. I wasn't.
I wasn't
a-
here in 10 years
I wasn't a nerd back then,
yeah.
and I'm saying that because I'm a nerd now, and I wish I was back.
You
then
weren't
to
a
go.
nerd? What?
Do you think you have to be a nerd to want to go see the Dead Sea Scrolls?
I'm saying like I didn't really.
Oh, it wasn't in your sphere of it wasn't on your map,
Yeah, when I
your
was
radar.
when I was 19, bro. Come on.
Well, that was 10 years ago?
I was a different booger back then.
So
know
you
what
were
I'm
like,
saying?
dude, where is the ganja?
Yeah, pretty much.
Somebody rolling that up? Uncle Jeff's in the back rolling some joints.
I was like, "What's up, dude?"
What's
No, I
up?
mean,
What's up, dude?
I just didn't. The things that interested me back then were
Right.
just not fulfilling. They were just. I was just.
It was just it was all
different. I was 19,
self.
bro.
Yeah, you were all about self.
I was not matured yet.
Yeah,
I wish
we're
I
all-
was.
We
'Cause
all
I
been
missed
there.
that. I missed that, dude.
We've all
Missed
been.
what?
That
You missed
Dead
it.
Sea thing. That one came through.
Oh, okay. That you missed being 19. I missed being 19.
Do you?
Yeah, dude.
Those were the days, bro.
I could get up without getting hurt. You know.
Oh wow,
You still don't know what you're doing with your life.
those were the days.
In the summer of
Summer of '69. It's a good song.
But yeah, I mean, that's I learned a lot from the Dead Sea Scroll episode. This is good.
Did you?
yeah,
dude.
That's
the
awesome, man.
caves, the Bedouin shepherd.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
giants.
I like the theory.
It is so like that's what I was picking up on. Like it was just. It seems to me like this was, like you said, divinely inspired. It had to have been, dude. We didn't have this, and there's little things like this throughout history where God gives us a little grapevine.
Yeah,
Just like here. You want to question the authority of the Bible? This has been here for 2,000 years untouched.
yeah, and think about all the prophecies that were fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question for you guys, since you guys had a little riff about the
Riff?
a little riff about the authenticity
Yeah.
of the Bible and
Yeah.
divinely inspired, and
yeah,
the
yeah.
books were put in canonized specifically for a specific purpose by God, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
Right. You believe that?
The Bible,
Yes,
I think it was perfectly divinely inspired.
and perfectly canonized.
What do you mean? The context of that matter.
So the context of the Bible are just compilations of books, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So do you think the compilation of books was that divinely inspired, the canonization?
Like the way they were put together.
All the books. And so when
So I see what you're saying, because they used to be in scrolls. There was a
Right.
scroll of Isaiah.
so
Yeah.
when
there was a scroll of Moses.
when the Catholics, when Catholicism,
Did we
when the
put all these together?
Catholics
66
did it.
books?
Yes, when the Catholics
Okay.
canonized them, they decided what books to come in and come out. When the Roman Catholics, they did that.
They made the order of it.
They decided, hey, what goes in here, where it goes in what exactly.
Yeah.
What books to put in, what books to leave out. Do you believe that was inspired?
Divinely.
Mm-hmm.
What books were left out?
I don't know. I don't think the.
Jasher.
That's
Oh,
yeah,
is that what you're saying? Like the order of it, or
Well, see,
are you talking about the books
that's
that
the
were
thing
included
with-
and not included?
that's the thing. They didn't.
The
They didn't
Canaanite-
have these books. They were found.
They were found, right? But you can still.
So I see what you mean. Like, oh, we found this. That messes up my theology of, oh, y'all put that together. Oh, you missed something over here. Found in a
Exactly.
cave.
Exactly.
yeah,
What are you going to do with that?
Exactly.
but this doesn't. I don't feel like it really takes away from what we already have, though. It builds
I think it
upon
adds to it.
I think it builds upon.
I don't think it takes away.
It definitely doesn't, because if you read when you read the book of Enoch, I haven't read Jasher yet, but I've read Enoch, and it adds so much insight to what we already know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like there's so much biblical imagery of Jesus Christ in that, it's insane.
So the question I have, I guess, is because if something's perfect, does there need to be anything added to it? No.
Perfect added to it.
If it's perfect, does there need to be anything added to it? To
What-
something.
What do you mean added to it, though?
So you guys said it.
Well,
so
it
you
depends,
said that
it depends
that-
what you're saying.
I'm trying
is
to find
perfect
because I can read a book that an author wrote about a scripture, and that's not adding to the Bible, but it does give me insight.
yeah.
It helps teach me about things.
So here's what I'll say. I think God's word is perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
okay,
And in God's word, through man, is perfection. So, with that being said, God's word is everlasting and forever. And I'm formulating this as I'm talking.
okay, go.
Copy.
So, yes, that stuff being found, just like what we were talking about last week, it was always there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So we're uncovering things of God forever,
Sure.
but his word is perfect. So is our Bible full? I think it is, but that's what I'm saying. It's like this Enoch and stuff, it doesn't take away, it adds insight. It's not like, this will make more sense when you read it, but
No,
the
I-
book of Enoch does not, the reason, like when you read it, the reason why it's not part of our scripture, you can see how that was divinely inspired, because it's not necessarily, there's not really like any major takeaways from it. Like you adding Enoch to it, would you agree with this? There's not really like a studying point of Enoch. It's more of just like insight into Genesis 6 and what was going on in that land.
It's historical.
Yeah, it's historical.
Text.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
biblical imagery in it. There's a lot of like Armageddon.
I mean, it's not.
Armageddon
You're not going to
imagery in
read it and go, "See, he didn't part the Red Sea."
Yeah, it's none of that. It's like he said. It's like insight to it.
You know
It's
what
like,
I'm saying?
And same thing with Jasher from the little that we've read is insight to it. It's like, who was the magicians? What was it like during that time? So all of that is divinely inspired because we have a complete Bible, which our Bible itself, you can spend your entire lifetime studying and reading and learning just from what we've got. And once you get to that point, now we have the book of Enoch that we found, which adds to it. And all of it coincides with his word. So his word is perfect. And this is an addition to that. But we do have a complete Bible.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't need the book of Enoch.
And
you
so
don't need the
you
book of Jasher.
consider Jasher and Enoch his word.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I mean,
would say so.
yeah. Since he was,
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, God said he walked faithfully
Yeah.
for
I don't
365 years. You walked faithfully, and I
The
took
reason
him up,
why I asked these questions,
and then I snatched him out of here.
the reason why I asked these questions, just to tickle your guys' brain,
I appreciate
because if you guys, this is from a different perspective, not mine. This is playing devil's advocate here. If you guys were to say, hey, yeah, we add the Book of Jasher and to our biblical literacy
Yeah.
and our the repertoire of God's word, then who's to? And you're saying that it is, right? Part of it.
I would say
Who's to say that Joseph Smith?
I know where you're going with this.
Who's to say that what other literature that somebody says that's divine, that they could say it's divine, and
Right.
and add not
Which he does.
dismantle the gospel,
yeah.
but add to it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
I would go with that if Joseph Smith actually,
I'm just using him as a
yeah,
example.
if he actually quoted and said, Janus and Jambres,
Okay.
or
Okay. Yeah.
if he had something but he doesn't.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't have any historical value of the text that's already canonized, so to speak,
Yeah.
or non-canonized.
And the fact of the matter is, these books, they are quoted in our Bible. So, like, the way that I look at it is you study the Bible that we have, because I do believe it is complete. And it gives us the theology and the picture that we have. That was the way God wanted it. That's why we've had this Bible. This is our Bible. I feel like the book of like Enoch and the book of Jasher, now that we have it, God has revealed it to us. Because you said, I didn't catch that part, but you said that was revealed. They found that in the Dead Sea.
yeah,
Yeah.
those texts were found there.
So if we believe that it was divinely inspired, that we found these Dead Sea Scrolls by God, then God has given that kind of like, I rely on a lot. And again, I grew up Pentecostal, so I rely a lot on the Holy Spirit. Like, if the Holy Spirit is telling you to go read this book and study it, then I trust in the Holy Spirit, dude. But as far as like a biblical believer, the core Bible is what is our daily bread. We read that, we study it, we get in it every single day. You can spend your whole life reading that. And then if you get to something like Genesis 6, and you get to something where, like you're talking about, because that was always like clouded in mystery too, is the magicians of Moses. And I haven't read Jasher yet, but Jasher's giving clarity on that.
Mm-hmm.
God has revealed that to us, to people who want, because you feel the Spirit. You feel the Spirit when you read Genesis 6, and you're like, what was that? God gave us the book of Enoch to study that, to people who read that and want to dig deeper. Because God will always reveal more to you if you want to know. And I feel like that's at least how I look at it.
Fair.
Now,
Fair.
The book of Joseph Smith, he pulled that straight up out of his cheeks.
He
cheeks
sure
up.
did.
Yeah, it was like,
I think I know where you're coming from. Were you saying like when they found these new books that our canonized scriptures have quoted from? Are you like, oh, there's egg in our face?
Yeah.
We put all these things together saying, oh, this is the true word of God. Oh, now there's egg in our face because we found these other texts.
Oh, there's
what are
more.
we going to do? Oh, that's not canonized. We're not doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Is that
Right.
where you're kind
Yep.
of coming from? Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
I
see
think
it
it's
that way.
I think it's a awesome joke that God pulled on us.
yeah.
Like, y'all think y'all got it figured out?
Yeah.
Look at this. Hey, you know that guy I snatched up out of the earth? Here's this book in a cave.
Yeah, I just
Let me
think
know how that fits in your theology.
it does, like you said, it kind of goes to the he is unsearchable. Like we
Yeah.
can spend our lives, and then he just adds a little bit more just to add to its depth. And like I said, man, I haven't read Jasher, but the book of Enoch is exactly that. It's all, there's a lot of just depth there that you have to have our Bible to be able to understand it. Like, especially the Old Testament, like these people would have read Enoch and knew what it was talking about.
Yeah.
So again, it's all together. You know?
What's interesting, and I didn't know that when I was studying for the book of Enoch, I didn't realize that in 1604 King James translated the Authorized Creation of the New English Translation. But that was 85 years after Tyndale's first translation. Did you realize that?
No, I didn't.
I didn't realize that. King James came along. Do you think it was just narcissistic?
Could be.
Like King James, like, you know what? I don't like this Tyndale version.
Mm-mm.
Let's get together and make a new one. I'm like, what? How come nobody talks about Tyndale? It's all about King Jimmy.
I've never even heard of that name.
So I know why King James the King James version came out. I
Because
don't
he was
want
gay.
It could be. I mean,
He
that
was.
is a theory that he was gay. No, but
No, that was true.
I mean, I
He
don't
was a
know.
homosexual.
How do you know that?
Hey, they did a lot of things back there.
It's historical.
Hey, it's
Go look
Hollywood,
it up.
baby. It's Hollywood, baby. We all been gay once in a while. Quote that
Come on.
movie.
Hey,
But anyway,
means you're gay.
there's a there's a reason why King James did put out his own translation.
Really?
And it was for we'll get into it when we do that episode, but just more of a broad reasoning. It was kind of for narcissism and also for power, control.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
There's a lot there, and I feel like with all those things surrounding the Bible, God, I still believe it's divinely inspired. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All these things that try to get us to an English version, and Tyndale did it. King James did it. We had the Septuagint. You have to
Yeah.
go. Is my Creator good enough to get His word to me today?
Through a broken man.
Today, is
Okay.
He good
Yes.
enough? Can He do it?
What about
He does. Will he show up next
Can
week?
he do
question?
it?
What about before now?
What do you mean?
Before what?
Before 1946? Before 400 AD?
Yeah, because King James did that in 1604.
Yeah, and so the most of the books were compiled around 400 AD by this dude. I think Saint Jerome. Before then, they didn't have, Christians didn't have a letter or
Bible.
a Bible. They had
Yeah.
letters, but the letters weren't mass produced.
No, they weren't.
Well, yeah.
So
I mean,
then you get into a situation of like what they have in Pakistan right now. The women-led church, they literally don't have Bibles. So what did they have?
Led by what?
The Spirit, dude. And that's exactly that. So that's the thing with people like Christians nowadays that aren't Pentecost and they don't really believe in the power of the Spirit. That right there, that discernment is what gives us our truth.
And how do we worship?
in
the
spirit and
In truth.
in truth.
In truth, bro.
And what is truth?
What is truth?
Ooh,
Jesus Christ, baby.
there we go, baby. That's all you
It
need to
is.
know.
That's all you need. That's literally all you need to know. And then again, it was revealed. It was all brought together 400 years afterwards. And then again, this thing comes out and it's interesting, dude. But
Yeah.
none of it cancels each other out. None of it.
Yeah, because there have been so many. Like we talked about the Septuagint. That was that was actually origined in Alexandria in Egypt. It was translated between 300 and 200 BC.
Yep.
And the Greek translation was produced because many Jews spread throughout the empire was beginning to lose their language, the Hebrew language.
Yep.
And that's when Ptolemy, which was from Egypt, got 70 to 72 scholars and said, hey, let's translate this into Greek.
In the Greek. And they made
Yep.
the Septuagint.
That's
which
it.
Which is crazy. That's a whole nother episode, dude.
It
For
is
real.
really. Let's see. You know what? That's it, guys. Dead Sea Scrolls. Thanks for listening. Make sure you visit our website, bottomofthat.com, and you can check out all our blog for resource materials. Everything we talk about will be there. And make sure you also can find us on our website. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you're listening on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute, and you like this episode, do me a favor. Share, subscribe, and leave a comment. That's going to help the algorithm feed this content to other people that want to hear this kind of content. And if you're listening on Spotify or any other podcasting platform, make sure you click on the bell for notifications so you never miss when we publish an episode.
Awesome.
And if you did not like this episode,
What are we doing next?
appreciate
Next
you.
episode.
I think we're going to do Down the Rabbit Hole. I
Down
hadn't
the
done that
rabbit
in a while. So tune in next week when you might hear Joey say,
Listen, this is George W. Bush, and I approve this message.
Amen.